Hello, everyone. I'm going to have everyone sign in on here, and we have a special edition. I'm very excited about it. We've got Charli. She is waving, she is coming in. Right. Hello. Put this up. Charli should be logging in here. We are a different time zone. Hi.
Hey,
Nice to
how are
meet
you?
you.
Nice to meet you I was gonna say in person, but like face to face.
Yes. Oh, someone else requested to come in. And then it's Larissa, you say, right? Is her name? Okay. I don't
Yeah,
want to see anyone's yours is Charlie, right?
yeah.
I'm like, I read names and I'm like, I don't want to say them wrong. So I always ask
No,
before.
it is so fine.
So how are you feeling?
Honestly, Bali Belly, Bali Belly got me good. I'm feeling a lot better today. I was so nervous to get the IV drip because I'm just like, I'm a wuss when it comes to needles. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. My partner's like, you're going to feel so much better if you do it. You're going to bounce back faster. And I'm so glad I did. So I'm
Oh,
feeling a lot better. How are you?
I'm good. Larissa came in, so I'm just gonna have her request to come in and then we'll jump in the chat. But if you guys didn't know, Charlie is from Australia, but you're in Bali.
I'm in Bali right now. Yeah.
Very cool. And I watched your YouTube, so I know you're able to be there, so you're there, which is exciting. And it
Yes.
looks gorgeous there, by the way.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Australia looks gorgeous too. So hi, Larissa, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on. This is so exciting. I
We're
said
all here.
I was doing some
Yeah.
round the globe, which is very exciting. I can't take all the credit. My husband gave me the idea, and he's like, "You got to get these girlies from like all the
Oh,
other countries coming in." And I'm like, "That is such a good idea," and I'm
what's
so
your
happy to have
husband's
you.
name?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard with the time zone changes though, because I'm like, okay, what time? We're like navigating. Thank
Yeah.
goodness it's correct.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I'm like,
anyway,
oh my God, I'm so sorry we're keeping you up.
no, no, no. I go to bed in like 2 hours, so you guys are fine.
Okay.
Um, and actually, I always do 7 o'clock, so it was perfect because everyone here in the United States, 7 seems to be a really good time for people to come on, and we want to make sure people are able to like see this live because it's more fun.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's different than doing it on YouTube. So then I transfer it to YouTube so people can rewatch. So it's
Yeah.
perfect. So
I just want
you.
to say everything you're doing is incredible. Like
Oh,
everything that you're putting out and putting over on YouTube, it is helping. Like it's helping Fit Model Pro girls, but I think you're doing incredible things for the division. So before we say anything or get stuck into the whole sort of chat, I just wanted to reflect that back to you because I know that plenty of girls are also talking about that.
oh,
Yeah,
thank you. I really
100%.
appreciate
Like,
it.
Okay.
couldn't agree more. Like, I'm always excited. I'm like, oh, what's Brittany doing? Like, what's she
Yeah.
saying?
What happened? Is she gonna give the
Yeah.
rundown?
Yeah.
The tea for the shows. Yeah, I try to keep up with it. I was telling everyone on the last live, I have a good memory, so I know everyone's like, and do know a lot of people's feedback, and it's helpful because all this information is not derived from me. It's derived from what I've heard and from what I
Yeah.
see, and it's from what I ask. So
Hey, Jane.
yeah,
Love
they're all in.
you.
I've been
Yeah.
waving. I'm like waving. Wait, both
Oh,
both of you are gorgeous, by the way. I love Australia. Like, I need to get
oh,
there someday. You guys, I
Yeah,
always
you
think,
need to come visit.
yeah. I always laugh because I used to be in the WBFF. I was a pro, and I'm like, there's something in the water over there. You guys are, y'all have like just a
oh.
pretty look. I'm like, it would be like an inside joke. We'd be like, there's something in the water with those girls.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. But we're just like, ooh, Australia girls, they're pretty. It's funny.
Yeah.
So that's a little side note, you guys. Now everyone knows my secret.
But I actually think, like,
Now they know.
I don't know if I'm totally wrong, but I actually think, like, Charlie and myself, like, we're both not, like, Australian, like, blood wise. I don't know, like, if you are Charlie.
Yes. Yeah, I have a little bit
Yeah,
of Aussie in me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually, like, half Swiss, half Italian. But
Oh, very
because
cool.
my partner is Australian, I moved to Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Italian's very nice. I actually have a little bit of Portuguese in me and then Native American Indian. And my
Yeah,
mom's from
right.
England. So I'm a blend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's
cool. Well, I
exciting.
wanted you guys to just kind of the first thing was we got some great questions. By the way, Larissa, your questions box, wow, people definitely had this is the I don't want you guys to see how bad my writing
Big
is. I
list.
wrote it real fast, but the questions were like incredible and I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping these because if we don't get to all of them, there's some whoever, so if you're listening and you put a lot of these questions in, I need you to fill out my question box because wow, they're very insightful. Probably not to diss anyone, best questions I've gotten to
Oh,
have on here. These
Oh,
are
that's
kind of
amazing.
yeah.
yeah,
So
wow.
props to whoever. But so the first question though is I mean I know the answers, but where are you guys at with prep? So Charli, I'll go with you first since I know you're competing first. But if you
Yeah.
can explain where you're at with prep and like a brief process, like how things are going with that and which show you're doing.
Yeah. So what is it, the 30th? What is the day today? It's
You're 4
Friday.
weeks out.
Yeah, I think it's the
Yeah, I'm
30th.
so I'm 4 weeks and like one day out.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'll give you
I
the
love
answer.
it. You know it to the day. Like, I love
Yeah.
it.
4 weeks from one day out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
4 weeks one day because I'm gonna watch it on a Friday.
oh yes, perfect. We know. So at the moment, prep wise, up until Bali Belly time, so smooth. So smooth. Um, so we're very early in terms of where we're sitting at. And that's what happened in my first comp as well, like last season.
Mhm.
We sort of just like cruised into the show, which is a nice place to be. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all. I am competing in Japan in that first Fit Model Pro show, which is so exciting. I feel like the girls, everyone who I've spoken to and who's going there is just beautiful. And I'm just so excited to share that experience with everyone because I'm starting to, it's as much as bodybuilding is still quite new to me, I'm starting to actually understand the depth of like, okay, this is like history being made. So it's very exciting times.
Yes.
Mm.
And I will note, Fit Model has that name because there is a beauty factor. I would say every fit model girl, this is the pro chat, right? So this is just, I try to make it specific that it's just pros we're talking, but we talk about amateur stuff, right? But
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be different. But every pro I ever have on here, I'm like, everyone just looks good, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
And and this is like without all our glam, right? Like we got a little basic, basic whatever. But like, yeah, it is part of the factor, and I think people need to remember that too. Like that it
Mhm.
weighs really heavily on how you do
Yeah.
with competing. So yes, beautiful. Everyone's gonna be beautiful in Japan. I'm very excited. I think I know as many people as I can that are going, but I think there's some that are hiding. And you might know
Yeah, I'm
more
sure
than I
there is.
do.
Oh, well, look, I someone just asked, how new is it to you? Bodybuilding is extremely new to me. This is my second time competing, so my third time overall on stage. I did the state show and then nationals, got my pro card, and then this is like the third time. But for that
Wow.
reason, I think I don't really know anyone other than who I've been interacting with. Like I feel like you probably would know more people
Oh,
who
I
are
might,
going
but
to
I
the
don't.
show than what I do. But yeah.
Cool. And Larissa, where are you at with prep? I know, but if you want to share with everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's actually quite funny. We're all in different phases right now, so it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I am about to finish my off season. I have one more week left, and from what I just heard from my coach, like next week we're already like starting to like ease in. So like it's kind of like cleaning out into prep. So I do start prep next week, kind of, which is super exciting, like really exciting. Um, and I just saw like my pictures from when I started last year in January compared to like now, like what I look like is wild, like absolutely wild. Definitely going to post that.
Yes, I was
Um,
gonna say, or slide up into my DMs because now I'm intrigued, right? Like I post those all the time, but I'm
yeah.
like, okay, now I need to see this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like I have so much more muscle. Like it's crazy.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah. And we locked in two shows so far, which is New York and Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that'll
you,
be amazing.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Because I just wanted to do these shows to get like really good feedback, proper feedback, what I need to improve, where I'm sitting, and from then we are like see what it is. Maybe I can go and do more shows end of the year, but we are like leave it at that and then go from there.
that's a really good, strong plan, especially traveling. So I know a lot of people
Mhm.
are going to listen to this from another country, and New York and Pittsburgh are really great back to back. So I think
Yeah,
that's a perfect plan. If you do like really well and you're like, well, like say you're getting like second, third, and you're like, man, you could, if you had the ability, you could stay a little bit longer and then at the end of May do another show because there are some more. So,
yeah.
it's not like out of the option, but I think those are two very strong shows where you have really good judges. You have the judges that we've been getting, right? Like that we get on our
Mm,
pro qualifiers, right? So like we've
Yeah,
been getting that feedback. Like, and I just saw them at the women's workshop. Like those are those judges.
yeah,
And
mm,
there is an advantage because they know what they're looking for, right? So then
yeah.
you're meeting that criteria if like they are giving you that correct feedback. So I think
yeah,
that's a great decision. And I know Charlie, you're going to see how Japan goes and choose from there. Obviously, that makes sense because
Mm.
Japan's so early. But you've
It
got
is so early.
I heard John talking about you on the podcast, and he was talking about
Yeah.
some Asian shows, which actually would be a really good move because you're over there and you're already like closer to
yeah. It's
like
so close.
and you're close to your Japan prep. So like that actually makes sense because I I think the numbers might be a tad lower at those shows. You know what I'm
Then,
saying? And then Wasatch is going to be humongous. I already know, and I'm
To
mhm.
be
sure.
fair, I competed. So I competed last year, obviously a little bit more than Charlie. For those that don't know, like Charlie actually beat me and got her pro card in April, and I came second. Um, and then I did South Korea, came second again, and I did China, came second again, and then I did Australia and won my pro card in Australia.
Wow.
Which just from saying about there is a little bit less. To be honest, when I did China and South Korea, it
A
was
lot of girls.
packed. It was
Um,
Really?
so crazy. Like Australia and like the two Australian show that I did, nothing compared to like the Asian shows.
but I wonder
They
the
Well,
were
pro numbers though. Like
stacked.
how many pros are out of there though is the question, right? Like how many
yeah,
pros are
In
in
true.
Asia,
China? Yeah.
I really don't know. They had heaps of shows, but I really I can't. I know there is quite a few, but because they obviously all started following me like when we all did the amateur shows, and
Yeah.
they have amazing structure. Like honestly, it blows my mind when I see them. Like they have this really like
Tiny,
tapered
tiny
booty
weights.
and a tiny
Yeah.
like waist, and then still like actually quite good glutes. So it just blows my mind.
How do
Mm.
you think they're gonna fare in the pro league then? Because I've seen the same thing. I find them very aesthetic. How do you feel they'll do at the pro level with those aesthetics?
Um, Obviously, I do think they are more on like less muscle. So like
Okay.
when you compare it to America and like Asia, I would say Asia is a little bit more structure over muscle, which
Okay.
I think America is more the bubbly, full, sort of less lean like look, which Asia I think is more a little bit. on the, I would say, leaner side and
Uh,
less muscle. But I don't obviously know like what they're gonna do at the pro league now. But
yeah, I'm just curious.
just from their structure, I think um, it's they're like so petite that I think it's harder for them to build muscle.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm curious. They have really cool like aesthetic shapes from what I've seen. There's a guy bringing
Yeah,
like 9 girls, and it's
crazy.
incredible. My husband asked, "Does Australia have any events that were like similar to the women's workshop that we had?"
Not really, I don't think.
No. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I know the UK is doing one in a couple of days. Beyond the Stage TV posted about it. Becky, one of the judges,
Yeah.
is flying there, she is a gem. So I hope she judges Pittsburgh or New York for either of you, whatever show you guys pick. I know you're doing both, but Becky, she's someone that we always say, like all the girls always say, if Becky's in the panel, just look at her. She just smiles all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time. And she just loves the sport, and she's just a great person to ask questions to. So, I always say, like, people are like, oh, she's just, I'm creating these ideas. No, I'm asking people these answers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking the judges these questions most of the time. Like, I don't just blow things out. Like, I always like to reinforce that. I don't come up with these ideas. So, anyway, so we got some great questions. I do want to start getting into those. So someone said, what body parts matter the most for a fit model, and what body parts do you think matter the least? I think that's a great question. So what do you guys think?
That's a great question.
It was a
Mm.
really good one. I was like, wow.
Hmm.
I think the most is definitely having full glutes.
Hmm.
Um, with then still having a nice taper, like having shoulders, lats. Um, the least I would say is definitely you should not have abs and probably also not too much quads.
Okay.
So that's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, what do you think?
I think very similarly. And also the tie-ins as well, like the least that's on the criteria is they don't want capped shoulders and they don't want etched tie-ins. Also abs, which I feel like is hard. Some people's body fat distribute like for me, I'm lucky because it does not matter how lean I get. Even when I was like so dry and so dehydrated from Bali Belly, I did not have like any etched abs. I was like, at least I know I'm good there. But tie-ins, I
I
think,
struggle with
and the
that.
shoulders. Yeah.
Did you
That's
get
I feel
feedback
like
on that, Larissa? Did you get feedback about your
um
abs?
no, so like when I all the shows I did, like my abs were actually never kind of pointed out that they
Okay.
were like too much or not, except for the very first show I did in Australia in April last year. They were saying like, oh, if you get any leaner, like it can like affect your placing. That was at the stage show, and then I
Mhm.
went obviously into the national, but we peaked a little bit different to the stage show, just to like blur them out a little bit.
Yeah.
But all the other shows that I did from like South Korea and China, and then obviously Australia again, it was never in my feedback that that was a problem.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I think the most important is going to be the glutes. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to switch because I can't grow glutes. Well, I think glutes. Oh, Liz is in here, so I'm sure she can comment. Liz, I know you're just joining. So this question, I just want to tell you because I'd like to read your comment on it. Is what body part do you think is the matter? What body parts do you think matter the most for fit modeling, and what body parts matter the least? So the other girls already answered, so now I'm gonna put in my 2 cents. So I think glutes are really important, full round glutes, and that helps girls win from the back, I think. And the least important I would say is like having arms and like Cap delts for sure. They don't want cap delts.
Yeah.
Actually, so if your shoulders are too good, they end up getting moved out. And that is the biggest feedback we have been seeing is your delts are too much. So I would say delts, you want roundness, but like I train mine a lot because my feedback is just to have a little slightly yep, glutes and lats. And I was going to say
Yeah.
the other important one is lats. And you said that
Yeah.
too,
For the
Larissa.
flavor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had talked about that recently where it just gives you that shape without the delts, right? So
Yeah.
it comes out like my back has gotten so much wider. Now I have more shape it outward and makes me look like I have wider clavicles and I don't.
Mm.
And then the delts, they don't have to be so rounded to give you that width, right? Because
Yeah.
honestly, your shoulders are far smaller than your back could get. The
Yeah.
muscle back muscles are
Yeah.
bigger than shoulder muscles, right? So you're going to get
Mm.
more out of the work if you get your back wider. So I think I totally agree with Liz. Liz, what do you think is the least important? But that's what I think. Arms
Yeah.
are less important. Overdevelopment arms, yeah, it'll give you like a beefy look, but also it can take away from the roundness of your shoulders if your arms are too big. Because I
Mhm.
see that in bikini where their biceps and triceps are almost too big, and it pulls away from that roundness of that delt.
Yeah.
Funny comment. I got some comment like last year. They're like, "So how do you train your shoulders so you don't have arms?" And I'm like, "No, girl, I need a big arm." I'm like, "Wait a minute." Like, I've actually had feedback that I had thin arms. I don't anymore, but like that was
Yeah.
some feedback in bikini. They're like, "You got thin arms." I'm like, "Oh." So I train my triceps 3 times a week. That's my secret.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like tricep DOMs would be like a different type of pain. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of
ow.
wild, but it's been working. I've put on
Yeah.
a lot of size on my upper body, like just to match my lower body, because you want to be
Yeah.
balanced. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
that was a good question. I really liked that one. And then another good question, it kind of goes with it. Are there any body parts that you guys avoid training purposely too hard?
Not really. I
Um,
mean, I have a very balanced split. I've got 2 upper and 2 lower body sessions, and I kind of just, yeah, go ham on all of them.
Larissa?
with me, I have 3 lower bodies and 2 upper bodies, and I would say from from what I train the least is definitely my quads, but when I look at them in comparison to my hamstrings, I would say I have more quads than hamstrings. So that's where we definitely keep them going and have like blood flow and everything, but I do not want to have them more developed as I'm in a
Mm.
building phase right now. It probably changes when I'm going into a like into a cut that we might introduce them a little bit. So I'm definitely not losing anything, but yeah, I would say probably with me it's definitely my quads.
Yeah, that's really good insight because everyone gets different feedback. And what we're seeing when pro cards is all different. I would say a lot of girls have full looking legs. However, I've also had clients come to me for posing saying their quads were too big and that was their feedback.
Well,
And so I think it's really person dependent, right? My feedback's to have fuller legs. They never said
Yeah.
specifically quads or hamstrings, so I just train all of them. I do
Yeah.
everything a lot. Like, so I'll do like all the main body parts are 3 times a week, and then all the things that are pretty decent 2 times a week. But I take 2 rest days, right? So like it's 5 days total. But yeah, you want to be well balanced. You have to look at your physique at the end of the day, and like where are you limited and where can you bring that up? And I saw I was lagging so much with like my upper body. That's where I started just like hammering it harder to
yeah,
match, you know.
the long
Um,
sleeve.
I had an injury going into getting my pro card. And my upper body was fine all season. It was never feedback. And then I had an injury for 3 weeks going into getting my pro card where I had overuse injury from posing. And
Oh,
so my shoulders look very small. So like I just looked like my quads like looked big and then my shoulders were like kind of like mer like they were atrophied
oh,
looking because like couldn't train hard. And it's okay. I'm actually bigger in my upper body now since the injury.
yeah.
Like before, I'm bigger now than before, so it's even better. So there.
That says so much about the work that you've put in. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So those are really good questions. Now, what do you guys think about a physique for fit model for amateur versus pro level? Do you guys see any differences in the physiques or a pro card winning physique compared to an amateur physique?
Um, I think a big factor when obviously someone is in an amateur lineup and is about to turn pro, I think they have that it factor. They have that confident on stage. They just shine. They have this charisma. And I think that's where it really weighs out. Like, okay, no, like she sticks out. So I don't really necessarily, I mean, maybe now from that we have pros now, it might change a little bit. It might actually be slightly more muscular. Who knows? Like, we don't know yet because there hasn't been any pro shows. Soon, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye, Liz. What do you think, Charli?
I think in terms of the physique packages that are in a pro level versus the amateur level, I would say they're not overly like it's very difficult to kind of pinpoint one or two things. I definitely think that stage presence is a huge one. Everyone who has turned pro has embodied like elegance and just like composure and yeah, like that charisma on stage. But in terms of the physique packages, it's like not overly dense muscle, but also not too lean, and not too little muscularity. And I think that that's where it becomes interesting because this is like a first time for everyone. And we might like, as human beings, we kind of like love to know the answers and be like, oh, what do we think? Like, but I think the reality is that no one really actually knows just yet. So it's going
Yes.
to be really, yeah, really interesting to see how it does evolve.
I think it'll be interesting to see everyone up on stage together because you think about it, it's everyone's winning, everyone won, right? So like everyone
Yeah.
earned their pro card. So then it's like all the
Yeah.
top people all at once versus like the top person that won those shows against the other people. So I think that's
Mm,
really interesting and it's going to be very intriguing. I will say there is a big difference between a like local competition fit model versus a pro qualifying
mm,
physique and a pro qualifying winning physique. I think there is like levels to that, which the pro, where you get your pro card, the pro qualifier winner is the pro level physique currently, right? Because like that's all we
yeah.
have.
Mhm.
Some people were told to maintain, so that physique is going to look similar. And then
Yeah.
some of us were told to improve, so those physiques catch up to the ones that probably were to maintain. It maybe gone beyond. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I am
No,
way
no,
bigger.
you're.
I'm
Mm.
like 10 pounds more and I'm like leader and I'm like, this is weird. And they're like, you don't have to lose that much. Like when they saw me this weekend and I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, did I like do too much? I'm like, nah, we're good. But like it's true. Like, so I think that's how the levels are.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Yeah.
obviously when we get to the pro stage, then we'll make some tweaks based on feedback.
Mm.
But I do think like you done such a great job in your off season because I was looking and I was like, how is this girl so lean still? I'm
Yeah,
like,
thank
she
you.
Yeah.
looks full,
I
but
said
like
the
she
same
looks
thing.
so
I was like,
lean.
if she said that
Because
she was
like,
in prep, I'd be like, yeah.
yeah.
Like I
I
would
mean,
believe that.
we have like talked about it, like message each other. I obviously send you my photos.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
still
I
think
was
you
just
look
like,
good, but that's okay.
yeah, nah, of course. Like I still do think that too of myself, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm so much more chubby.
You're
No,
But you
taller
Larissa,
know,
you
though.
say that, but you look
that's
incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Like you're taller too, so like we were talking about
yeah.
kicks, right? And so
Yeah.
yours is like double the kick, but I'm also way shorter than you. I'm only like 5'1.5" to 5'2", and I don't know the centimeters because you guys do centimeters, right?
Oh, you're five
Yeah.
one. You're
Yeah.
you're small.
Yeah, so like I'm smaller, but yeah, so I'm up. It was like 4.5 kilos, I think I figured it out. I was trying to
Yeah. And
confirm for you.
I'm 9.
Yeah. So actually that
And
probably
yeah,
was quite a
Larissa,
bit
you're
from my
tall.
short self now that I'm thinking about But so like this off season was the best off season I've ever had in my life. I approached it completely different. I usually coach myself for competitions, and I had a RD this
Wow.
year, a registered dietitian. On my husband try living
Try
on her.
living
She
with
deals
us.
with cookies out of my hand. So I decided to keep him on for my nutrition where I just have that accountability this off season. And I did my off season last year, but I would be like, yeah, that fits in my macros, or I'm going out to eat. Like I would go out to eat like twice a week. Well, this off
Mm,
season, I only went out to eat like twice a month. I was very
mm.
consistent, the most consistent. And it was a lot of sacrifice, but I took it as a continued prep. So I think that's why I've stayed so lean, but put on more mass because
Yeah,
I mean, I was
amazing.
eating a lot of food, like 275 carbs a day, and just like continuously pushing. And yeah, it was well worth it because I think the body composition changed tremendously. So I'm happy. So
Oh yeah, we can
we'll see
see
how,
that.
so we'll
Oh,
see
I
how this
cannot
goes.
wait to see your
Yeah.
package, like both of you. I
Oh, I'll
can't
just
wait to
follow
see
you.
what your next packages look like. That's like my favorite thing about
I love
bodybuilding
it.
is being like, okay, they're in off season. What's gonna happen when they next cut?
Yeah, and it's been nice seeing your cut too, because I know you put some
Yes.
size on your off season too, Charlie, because you were in
Yeah,
early, um, and you're looking great, and I know you're talking about filling out, which I think is great. You have
thank
a
you.
similar body type as I do, where I get
Yeah.
ready really fast and early, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
being ready early is an advantage because then you can feed into the show and then you can be fuller.
Yeah,
Because you
sure.
might be an
Yeah.
ectomorph like I am, where you're like, you
Oh,
just
I
gonna load,
churn
yeah,
through.
you're gonna load
Yeah.
all the food. And like, I'm dieting at
Yeah.
230 carbs right now. Like, my body's like, oh, sure, half a pound a week at 233 carbs, no
Yeah.
problem. I'm like, okay, whatever. So that
Yeah.
consistency, you guys, and then training hard. I cannot like
Mhm.
reinforce that enough. Where I go in the gym and it's like a job. Like I am like
Yeah.
all in. I'll put clips on my story sometimes, but I am in. I listen to good music. I have a good
Yeah,
pre-workout.
I've seen your stories and I'm like, oh, yes, it gets me hyped when I see another woman out there, especially another fit model girl, because I think that there is like a misconception that like, or up until recently, I think people have now
Yeah.
actually preached that, oh, fit model girls do have to train hard. Like we're not just going in there and throwing around some weights and yapping the whole time. Like we're going in there and we're actually training.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
I have one day in the week where I'm actually getting anxiety. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh damn. I'm like, oh damn, it's this day, it's this workout. I'm like, Jesus, because I know it's like one of my hardest workout of the week. So
Mhm.
yeah, honestly, we do have to train and yeah.
Yeah. So I write my own training. So I do my own training for prep, and it's just something I'm very passionate about doing is my own. I try to keep components of self-coaching, but so I love my training and I have not changed it for a really long time. I'll throw in a couple extra exercises and like change that up, but like the bulk of this training plan, I'm like, I think I'm just gonna ride it to like the grave this whole like season until I take a break because I'm like, wow, it is just like I look forward to it. That's how much it's like I really love it because I'm still getting PRs right now. Like I did heavier squats the other day and I was like, wow, like I'm still
Yeah.
like starting on my diet. I'm like, this is cool. And that's how I
Mhm.
like to approach cuts. Like I just keep going hard on my training until
Yes.
I can't. Is that how you guys do it?
I
Yeah.
honestly I think it's a total mindset. I feel like if you
Agreed.
if you telling yourself, oh, now I'm a little food and I can't lift this weight anymore, you're actually telling yourself that you can't.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
with me, like when I go into prep and I train, I try to beat what I did last week. And if I can't, then I'm just trying to at least hold it. But
Yeah.
I definitely do not go like try to get weaker, because my mind is playing with me.
Yeah.
So definitely not. Yeah.
What about you, Charlie?
Definitely the same. I think on of course like when you're in the depths of prep compared to when you're in a build, you do feel some days you're like, oh damn, like this is gonna be hard. But in on those days, instead of going in and being like, oh, I'm eating so little food, how am I gonna do this? I just go, okay, what's my 100% today? Let's do my 100% on this day, not comparing it to peak build or last week. Like just focus on what is happening today, the quality of my reps. And then as soon as, for me personally, when I go and relieve myself of the pressure of like trying to beat myself last week on a day where I know that I feel weaker, I somehow end up hitting PRs on that day.
That's
And I'm like, oh,
awesome.
that's all I needed was like to relieve the pressure and be like, just give it 100% on today's session.
I like that. That's a good mindset tip, actually, because some people might find that really helpful for them during their prep, whether they're doing any division,
Yeah.
and they're listening to this. So that being said, someone said, is this journey worth it with all the hard work? Do you guys think it's worth it?
100%. We wouldn't be, although in saying that, it depends on what your values are. Like, no one in bodybuilding does this for the stage and for the result, I believe. I think you have to love the process. You have to think it's worth it because you're dedicating 16 plus weeks to do it. So if you don't love it, then you'll know very quickly. But I think that especially in these times and with the division of fit model being so new and evolving to what it is, now is the time to like really make the most of it because this
Yeah.
is like we are paving the whole way for the future of this division.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm like all in. I'm
Mhm.
like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like when it
And I
dropped
think
out,
like
like,
also your reason why. If your
Mhm.
reason why is big enough,
Yeah.
then it's 100% worth it. And only you know your reason. And
Mhm.
yeah, like I think that's where you're like, okay, now it was 100% worth it. And yeah, for me, like I competed the whole year last year, but I would not
yes.
want it to have it another way because I got so much experience. Um,
Mhm.
I met so many beautiful other fit model in Asia, and it's just like 100%. Like, how could that not be worth it? And I got to
Yeah.
travel like
Yeah.
places that I've never been before, which is
Mhm.
even better. And
Yeah.
even
You
this
had a
year, I go to
journey.
America. I never been to America.
Yes, you had a journey.
Yeah,
I was watching. I was like, wow, this girl is still going. Like, that was
yeah.
incredible. I was like over here, like, wow, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is amazing. I think you took like a little bit of a like little break, like a little cool off period, and then you went back
Yeah,
after.
because they were like within like 6 weeks or 2 months apart, which to be honest, I have a similar prep to Charlie. Like we were both really early ready.
Mhm.
We
I
actually
think for
met in
both,
Bali before we both
yeah,
competed.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Wow.
and we have such a beautiful relationship. We started with like voice messaging each other and like
Aw.
really hyping each other up because we know we're gonna be like standing on stage together and like yeah, we couldn't imagine anything better. Like we really started to yeah have such a good
That's kind of like
relationship.
how Swan and I are. You guys know Swan, she, ex
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosen, yeah.
She's
I
so
love her.
funny.
She's so
We've
funny.
been
Like
talking
I
like
love her.
year round. Like we met in a women's workshop last year for Fit Model, and like her and I've been trading notes all year. Like this is like how I've gotten like even because I would talk to her for
Yeah.
everything. And we just be going back. We still every day, like all day. We're like,
Oh, I love that.
but like yeah, and then Liz has joined in, so we're kind of that's how they're my co-host now. It's just because we talk all the time.
Yeah.
It just flows right because we're like our brains are all going all day. We share each other things. But it's so
Aw.
nice when you have like at least one other person to like do the
Yeah.
journey because it's it's a lot and Fit Model is so new. So like to have that
Mhm.
support is so rewarding and like reinforcing
Yeah.
that we are going in the right direction and we're encouraging each other. And I know we're all going to go against each other eventually, but like you need to have that support still because
Mhm.
of the newness. And it's lonely. This is a one person sport. Like we're not really like on a team, right? We're all like, you still want to go and kick butt. Like we're not gonna like,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead and beat me. Like, right. Like you still want to like do
Yeah.
well. Like no
Yeah.
one's in this to lose, right? Like let's be
Mhm.
No.
honest with
And to be
let's be
honest,
honest.
like backstage, like I had the best experience like every single time. Like even I even recall it when Charlie like won her pro card. I knew that she won. I think she didn't, but
Did
I
you?
knew that she won. Yeah, I
How
knew
did you
that
know?
that.
How'd you know?
I just knew where they placed me. So like I knew that I came second and that you won.
I had no
I'm
idea.
really
I was
good.
like, where am
I know,
I?
like I don't know why, but I'm really good in like knowing where I'm at on stage. I don't know why,
Mhm.
but
That's how I
yeah.
am. Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew that you won, and I like immediately, like I when we all had to walk off, I was like, well done, Charlie, like so good. Like I was like telling her, but I
And
think
I
she
was like,
didn't
what?
really.
I remember I was
Yeah,
like, me
yeah,
too. I was
yeah.
just like, you
Um,
too.
and the second time when I was doing end of the year Australia again, I can't even tell you all the girls. I remember like I was last in line because I was the tallest. So I
Oh. Oh, did it freeze?
Oh, yeah, I think a little.
Oh, oh, it looks like it's rolling. We'll have to
Yeah.
see. We can continue. She'll have to see if she comes back on. Oh, bummer. She might have to come out. She might have to get out and then come back
Go
on.
out and come back in. Oh, I
Yeah.
feel like that was such a good
I
part in
know,
the
just so
story too.
easy. I know. Let's see while we're waiting for that. Oh, like what do you think a good uh a versus winning physique comparison would be?
A good versus winning.
Yeah, like good and then actual winning physique.
This is where I feel like stage presence comes in because if you have two physiques that are very similar, I think the person who's got that little extra edge or that little extra sort of like bit of confidence or composure or just like what Larissa was saying, you've got like an it factor, that's
Yeah.
where they'll be like, that one.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I agree on that because I would say like I've actually done better in some competitions, even in bikini, because of like my presentation and like energy levels.
Yeah.
Because I was always very like I didn't realize bikini grew so much. I took 7 years
Yeah.
off. Okay, I was like a pro. I was a pro in the WBFF, which is totally different. And I took 7 years off to have a kid, get married, blah 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 blah.
And then you
And
came back and you were like, I'm ready. What
yeah,
is going
and I'm like, I'm gonna compete again for my 40th birthday. So I'm like, let's do bikini. So I'm like, whatever. And I like prep myself and I'm like, I got this. Like, this is a good look. And then I didn't realize how small I was until they told me
it's
great look. You just need to be fuller. But I won. I won three first places at that show. At
really?
the one that it's St. Pete Pro, which is on the
Yeah.
list for fit model. I have a very big space in my heart. I cannot do it because I'm going to be at a wedding. But yeah, I got three first places and my stage presence, I think, because honestly, two of the other girls that were in the lineup that I beat ended up getting their pro card like 3 weeks later, and I got smoked at the pro qualifying
Oh,
level. I'm like,
really?
yeah, like I don't have the size. But like, oh, her phone overheated. Oh no.
Um,
Oh, hopefully she can come back on. Oh,
I'm
thank you,
sure she'll.
Maria. So yeah, so like I agree. I think the it factor or just like be able to draw attention to you. My husband always says like if you can't get your eyes off someone, they're gonna probably win, especially in
Yeah,
the female divisions, I would say. Like
definitely.
wellness, bikini, fit model. She sent the requests. Oh, perfect. I have a few. I got a few requests. So it was
Uh,
I was like, wait,
other people wanting to jump on and now
yeah,
this
they're
thing.
playing on. Listen, there we are.
Yeah,
I'm so
she's
sorry. We're
back.
playing with
They're
my
Oh,
listening to
we
the
were
ears.
just
story that we
saying
moved on. We're like, wait,
it was
you
at
were the
such a good
tallest
point in your
one.
story.
You were the
I know.
tallest
I was
one.
like, no. But what I was saying is like I remember because I was the last one in line, and all these beautiful fit model girls like turned around me, and they were all like, "It's your time now. Like, let's go. Like, show them
Oh,
what you got." And like I was just like, I was like, "You too, girls. Like, you're like just as good, like just as beautiful. Like, let's go."
oh,
Like, it was just like I couldn't believe the support, honestly. And
Mm.
like I have not experienced any other way so far. Like I just was like, how is this so supportive, so beautiful? No one is like really in a sense jealous or
Mm.
spiteful or anything. It's really just like, hey, let's have a good time up there. I know we're going to go against each other, but we can't decide anything. It's all about
Yeah,
the judges. So just like have the best
might as well
time.
have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about like what makes a good physique versus a winning physique while you were gone, because it was perfect timing when you were talking about that. And
Yeah.
we were talking about the it factor. I think that's the biggest deciding factor there. And also like if they're looking at criteria, if someone who's outside of that criteria or the balance of their physique isn't there, I would
Yeah,
say
that's
they're
true.
not going to win that first place. Because in the United States we've had more people doing this and more pro cards. So I've been watching like what is winning, and that tends to be some of that. So
Yeah.
um those are the
Also, I
other
feel like
things.
in Australia compared to the US, Australian shows are quite small. Like you guys have so many shows and there's like different judging panels and probably a lot more girls as well. I don't know about how many girls were in your lineup like for the first show that you did, but we had quite a small group. I think there was like what 17 or something, Larissa, on
Yeah. Yeah.
for nationals, something quite small, and I was expecting at least 20 maybe, but
Yeah, it was
Well,
very
it
small.
was, I think Australia was one of the first like fit model shows there was. I think there was
Yes.
obviously in Japan and
ah
stuff,
yeah,
but then
yeah,
because it was April, right? So
Yes.
we were one of the first ones. It was
super
so
early.
new. And even comparing with April to September when I competed again, it was so much bigger. Like so
Oh
much bigger.
great.
Yeah, and now I cannot even wait until April again to see, because I'm gonna go and support the show, and I cannot wait to like see how much more girls are out there because I
Yeah.
do really want to see this growing because I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
such a
definitely
beautiful
grown
division.
here. Yeah. The numbers have definitely gone up. So I started competing in May and got my pro card in July. I missed it in my May pro qualifier to Liz, actually. I got second to her, but we were split through heights. So all of our height classes had different numbers.
Oh, there's my
Um,
partner.
oh, there was
Thank
like,
you.
I would say like the averages are around like, gosh, 9 to 20 something in each, like average
Yeah,
of 9, 10, and then now they're like, high 20s, 30s in each height
that's
class.
so cool.
In each
That's
height class.
amazing.
So like
Yeah.
Mhm.
you gotta add those, there's four. So like a
Yeah.
pretty good amount, which is great. And then in regards to additional questions, what should amateurs not focus on? Like, what should they stop focusing on? Like, while watching everyone's journeys and comparing themselves online, what would you suggest to those that have asked those questions, like comparison and what they're
I
focusing on that is not important?
I think
I
it's
think
actually, you just said it, like to not spend too much time on social media to compare yourself to others.
mm,
I think we all have been there.
mm,
I think if you're, especially if you're a first timer, you do these. Um, I'm not saying like it's a mistake, but you're just going through all of these things, and it's good that you do. But now I'm really trying to focus on myself and not comparing myself, my physique, to some other girls that have like absolutely incredible physiques. But
Mhm.
I can't change anything right now, especially when I'm in a cut. Like you bring now the amount of muscle that you have, that
mm,
package you bring that one. And obviously what you can focus on is on your stage present and on your posing and what's not, but like if you start comparing yourself to others, you're just beating yourself up for nothing, because at the end of the day, again, it's not your decision, it's the judges, whatever they prefer and like the most on that day. That doesn't
mm.
mean that you are not good enough, or yeah, it just means they chose this girl on that day.
That's really good. That's a really good thing to note, because I think a lot of us, and I think us still, well, even as pros, we still do it. We're like, oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute. That kind of rolls into like the question too I want to get into after Charli answers, but um, with the bikini pro switching in, right? I know a lot of the fit model competitors are in my inbox asking my question, asking me questions or expressing their thoughts. And I talked to my fellow competitor friends about it as well, and like we all have our thoughts about it. We do start comparing because then I think a lot of us feel like our muscle density might not be as much, but then we have to remember we have met that criteria of that muscle density, and the feedback for a lot of us was to not grow more. Even winning the pro card, they're like, don't grow more. Or me getting my feedback the other day, they're like, you have enough muscle. Or like Emily was told in December, you have enough muscle, right? So like we worry about that because that is why we're not in bikini, right? So like, wait a minute, wait, hold on. Like we're having like gymnastics in our brain, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do I go? Hold up. Now the girls, but reassuring everyone that the judges said they still have to fit criteria at the end of the day. So they could downsize, right? So like that was what they need to work on. And I saw Ashley Kaltwalter wrote a comment about that the other day. That might actually not even be in their advantage to downsize. Sometimes that actually looks different, right? Because atrophy muscles do look different. Um, so we have to remember, like, even though we might be comparing, because that's what pros might be doing right now, because they know there are, including myself occasionally, right? I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. I know I've been growing, but am I enough? And we have to remember, like, it's criteria still at the end of the day. And all you can do is work as hard as you can and be consistent as you can. The comparing online is not going to do anything for you. And
So,
we're not the decision makers, so like why be
yeah.
catty and mean to each other when the judges are going to be the ones deciding who looks best that day, right? Like what's that going to do
Yeah.
for your relationships and friendships and enjoying the stage? I mean, you're going to be, what are you going to be, mad at everyone up there? Like, so what do you think, Charli?
I think that, sorry, can you just repeat that question again? I want to
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
like what would you tell like an amateur to stop doing?
I
Like what
think,
is not going to help that amateur? Yeah, stop focusing on
yeah,
what amateurs should stop focusing on.
I think to honestly, and this is controversial, but I think don't stop focusing on anything about the stage. Like,
Mm.
don't, if you're not thinking about the stage and you're not thinking about the result, then there's no need to compare. And I think that that's the thing that I really loved about my first season where I did turn pro, because I didn't care whether I actually was going to go on stage or not. I went through a really hard time, and at a certain point I was like, do I actually want to go on stage? But I obviously did. But it was more so to kind of like tick off that thing, finish the job of like being like I completed my prep. But there is everything that Larissa and you have said. There is no benefit to comparing yourself to people online, but also because this is a new division, there is an added layer of there is no reason to compare because we're all learning. And I think that if comparison is something that is really like you've got a high tendency to do, I think all human beings we have that. But if you are especially results driven or stage, like thinking about the stage, fit model is a great one to do because it's there's no standard really yet until the first Olympia winner. So yeah, the main piece of advice I would say is like just focus on what are you doing in your day? Like focus on your journey, focus on the process. What are you learning? Not even just in bodybuilding, like how are you learning to relate to other people while you're in a prep? How do you connect with people while you're in a prep? How can you strengthen your relationships? How can you connect with people, competitors, everybody? Just strip it back down to the simple stuff of what you're doing in your day rather than making it about the stage.
That's good. I like that. It's like a good insight too, because not everyone's gonna win and not everyone likes to lose either. So you got to remember that too.
Yeah.
But also I think we want to, if you've never been on stage, that's a good insight. But once you start competing, then shifting that mindset into a
Yeah.
champion mindset where you utilize those tools to be a champion, where you use vision to reach your goal. So I've been competing very, very, very long time, since 2012. So I envision those moments of me physically being on stage and visualize the audience. And my husband is listening to this while he gives our daughter a
Oh,
bath. But he will laugh because when I was a pro in the WBFF, we met in 2017, and I said, "No, you cannot come and meet me at my show because you're not in my vision." And he still makes fun of me. so he
I
so
love
he
that so much.
so he drove down and met me after the competition. I'm like, "Please just go get me food. I am done competing." Like that was my last show for them, and
Yeah.
it was so
Oh,
funny.
I love that.
I feel awful because last season he came to my bikini competitions in 2024, and
He
then
was in the vision this time.
yeah, well, so now this season, so in 2025, he never came to my competitions because it was too difficult with a 4-year-old, and I get very stressed. I lose weight, and then like it just never works
Yeah.
out. So now this season, he's like, it's not negotiable, and that's why I'm not doing
Oh,
Wasatch, because Florida,
Yeah.
I live in Florida, so I have Florida shows, so it's just
Yeah.
easier for him to. He could actually just drive to my competition in the morning with the toddler,
Yeah.
so like
oh.
it's feasible,
You
right?
guys
So
are amazing doing that while raising a whole human being. Like,
yeah, it's a
even
lot.
like
He's
there's
super
other, I
busy.
was talking to Jane, she's a mum as well. Everyone who's in bodybuilding and is a parent as well, I'm like, wow, I am in awe of
Yeah.
you doing this.
It's a
Crazy.
lot.
I'm like in my head, I'm like, I just need to focus on me, And obviously I have my partner. But I'm
Yeah.
like, how are they doing this?
Yeah,
It
it's a
blows my
lot.
mind.
I get overwhelmed. There's days like today included, like my shoulder kind of hurt because she's like, push me harder on the swing, and I'm like, no, and then like now my shoulder, and like it's just sometimes I'm like, can I actually do this? Like there's moments I want to quit, because it is a lot and it's overwhelming.
And
And I have to get up early. Everyone, I always say that. Like, I have to get up way early. Or like, why are you up at 4:30 in the morning? Well, because that's how I can fit it in. Because my husband has his goals too, and he goes to work, and I have my business, and I'm doing, content, whatever. I'm doing my coaching and I'm busy like all day while she's just
girl, you're doing a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then my prep, right? So like I get overwhelmed sometimes and I'm so tired. Like I'm like, wait, I gotta pull back somewhere. But it is hard. I know that was a question someone asked me the other day, and I made a joke about it that my husband was watching her, but he is, he's supportive and helpful. He
Mhm.
believes in me for competing, and he's taking this season off. But he's a competitor like your guy is. I know he just
Yeah.
got his pro card in classic
Yeah.
physique, which is awesome.
Yeah. We both did.
So that's another twist too, is when someone else is competing in the relationship, it makes it
Mhm.
easier, but then it's harder because let's be honest, their division is more difficult than our division for dieting. They have to get like shredded, like their glutes are like walnuts, and
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like crazy. And like he's like deep in the trenches, and I'm like over here like, I got 40 minutes of cardio a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that was like another layer of level last season because he
Mhm.
competed last season, but he took the season off. He's like, let's just focus on your pro debut.
Oh,
And he wants to be there. Like, so he's flying to Pittsburgh. But it costs a lot of money to fly a child with him. And like it's just a
yeah.
lot, right? So
Yeah.
we're pretty much wrapping up. I think we've got most of the questions. We didn't get all of them, but I'm definitely keeping them. These are whoever, if you are
I'm so
listening, if you
glad. I was like,
like,
I was like,
I'm gonna
there's
just
not. I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
send
there's
you
not
a
that
message
many, but
box and be like, have your people ask me questions. Like really good. Oh, Shayla said yes, my hubby's competing this year too, and I'm prepped with 3 kids. Yeah, girl.
Wow.
oh
That's
wow.
wild. Props to you. Like I am maxed out
Got
at one
this.
kid. I tell people all the time, like one and done for us. Like we are. I don't know if it's our
Yeah.
personalities or what, because we're very like we met as bodybuilders. Like this
Yeah.
is our
I
bloodline.
love how we say that. We're like, because, we're bodybuilders and we all just get it. We're like, okay, we got something going on up there.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a different mindset when you're like,
Yeah.
like I've retired like 3 times. Like this is obviously something that I will
Yeah.
never let go because I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna do it again. And we met because of the fitness world. So like him and I have like the same brain.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
It's
hard.
similar to like me and my partner. Like we met pretty much as well through the sport.
Yeah.
And I can relate with you like saying about like prep. being both in prep and what's not. We have experienced both sides where like he was in prep, I'm not, and now like we've been both in prep. And the funny thing is, like as you said, like he has to get so much leaner and
Yeah.
depleted um than what I do. And
Yeah.
it's but makes it so much easier because I still cook everything, I prepare everything. Like he just has to grab out a fridge and like,
Wow.
and I'm so glad that I am still able to do this because I have a very physical job, and like I have to talk all day, which is really really exhausting. My like social battery is quite empty by the end of the day. And but I'm so glad that I still can. Like people are asking me like, how are you doing this? You like must be so exhausted and depleted. And I'm like, well, because we don't have to get in that crazy bikini condition,
Yeah.
we can. Like I function completely normal when I'm in
Yeah,
Yeah.
prep.
you even like kept your hormones all super
Yeah,
healthy as well the whole way through, which
period,
is
Actually,
everything.
my
Yeah.
amazing.
testosterone improved while I was in prep, which is shocking.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know, we checked it like I think like 6 weeks after, and it was higher than when I started prep. I had no
That's
testosterone when I
amazing.
started prep, which is why I think I put some size on. I've
Yeah.
been supporting it with like better sleep, perceived stress. So like perceived stress is like how you view things and then you spiral into things. That's what I used to do as a mother. I think my testosterone dropped when I had a child because it's just very stressful. This is why I
Yeah.
have one. And I'm not saying y'all don't have kids. I'm just saying this is me. Like this is I know my like capacity, and like that's all I
Yeah.
can do. Like I'm maxed. And then I take like a testosterone like support natural like herb thing. And yeah, I don't know. Like listen, I'm normal now. Maybe that's why I look way more jacked because people are like, how'd you blow up like that? I'm like, must be the testosterone. But when I was laughing, I was not laughing at what you were saying, Larissa. My husband wrote, "Slid in the DMs. It's possible, boys." So like my big laugh was like my husband. He did. He wrote to me on Instagram, and he's like, "I've been following you," and he like replied to something. We didn't even have stories then. It was 2017. I don't know what we were talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild, and here we are.
My
But
partner slided in my like Facebook DMs.
see.
It is possible.
It's possible, boys. My husband's rooting for you all. Well, thank you so much. We're at the hour. I was trying to cut it off at the hour, and I appreciate both of you guys for spending your time with me and
you.
sharing your
Yeah.
stories and getting some exposure into Australia or the United States, learning some things from the United States. It's always because it is the hub, right? Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
it is the home of the
You.
NPC
100%.
IFBB. So it's always
100%.
nice to
Well,
kind of get
thanks so
some of
much
that.
for having me. Like, really
Yes.
appreciate it. And I had
Yes.
so much
Thank you for
fun.
having us on.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
been wonderful. And you guys, I will leave this on Instagram, but also I will download. It will be on YouTube. It's always easier to listen to on cardio on YouTube. So
Yeah.
you guys can check it out. I will share back. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can shoot any of us a message, I'm sure. And I look
Yeah.
forward to next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, beautiful.
Thank you
Thank
Have
so
the best day,
much.
you.
both you girls.
Yeah, you too.
Yes,
Thank
good
you.
luck in Japan, girl.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.